For agreeing to set up this interview. As you know, we only have a short amount of time, so let's go ahead and get started right away. Now, I know that you've been involved in some work on community issues. Can you tell me what attracted you to the community issue that you chose at the beginning of the semester?
Yeah, well, I chose the community issue on pollution in the lakes, and I was attracted to that because I live on a lake mostly, and I go fishing around the lakes and go tubing and do other stuff involved with the lake. And the reason why I mostly chose that is because I noticed that there's a lot of pop cans and plastic bottles that are involved in the lakes, and um, I looked up what pollution in the lakes causes or affects the lakes, and it affects the fish in the lakes, and I really like to fish, so that's mostly why I chose it, pretty much. And then I enjoy doing other stuff in the lakes, and I just don't like to see popping bottles and other plastic items in the lakes.
Okay, thank you. Now, your materials also said that you were involved in a community issue team project that focused on a call to action. Can you share with me what call to action your team put forward and why you chose that call to action?
Yeah, my team chose littering as a cause of action, mostly because all of us didn't like the call of action of littering. We all felt that littering is mostly the biggest like community issue that we thought like affected the areas the most. Um, we all of us never littered really in our life, and we thought with littering that it's probably a really huge cause that it affects all the animals. It's a huge source of money in the communities, and we all thought that that was mostly the biggest reason for that.
I see. Now, if I were to ask the other members of your team what they think your biggest strength is, what do you think they would say, and why do you think they would say it?
I think my team members would say my biggest strength would be mostly public speaking in general, or looking up items, or even caring for like our group in general. Um, I looked up a lot of info in our group or when we met, and I would say that's a huge reason. Or and also because I'm a decent public speaker. I'm not the greatest, but um, I can get things done when public speaking. So that's also another one I would say.
Okay, great. What for you was the most challenging thing about working with your team?
I would say the most challenging thing working with our team would probably be um, overall just meeting with each other, like finding time to meet, because um, we all knew each other. I know that doesn't happen a lot in college, but we all knew each other. Um, I was in a group with a person that was from my hometown, and then we were with a person from right next to our hometown, so we knew him really well. So that wasn't really the case meeting other people or communicating with each other. It was mostly just um, it was mostly like talking, probably in front of the group too. I would say it wasn't at all communicating with each other. It was mostly just finding time to meet.
Thank you. Okay, last question. In 30 seconds or so, tell me what your biggest takeaway was from Com 110 this semester. What will stick with you and be useful to you?
I would say the biggest thing that would stick with me through public speaking is overall public speaking. Before I came to college, I wasn't much of a public speaker at all. It was probably my most thing I feared that when going into college, and I would say that because throughout high school I wasn't much of a public speaker at all. Probably that's the biggest thing I struggled with in high school. And now after I took Com 110, now I learned to public speak a lot better in a different amount of ways, with um, meeting new people and going up in front of people, and overall just public speaking in general.